All right, let's do it live on a Tuesday edition of the program. Merely Bo, the great Z. I'll be damned if I'm going to be listening to Tom Brady. I'm listening to you and the voice, baby.
That's right.
The boys in town. That's all I want is the voice. How about this? It's fun. A little bit of news to start the program.
Yeah, it's and that's an exciting game.
Yeah.
America's team versus the world's team.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to get that billing, don't you think?
We'll hear.
Well, of course. We know that this is the world's team. I just feel like has that I'm going to have to start wearing my world's team t-shirt. It was made for me
I was
by
actually looking for mine.
New Rob.
I was actually looking for mine. There's a lot going on here.
You seem very discombobulated. You're sitting on the thing. Get it off that thing. That thing's flat.
I think this thing is up is the problem.
Oh,
This
was.
is usually my marker.
Oh, it sure was.
There we go.
There you go.
Now we're talking.
Now
The
you're
mic
cooking
was a
gas.
little high. Now I'm
Who
set
was
up.
in there?
I don't know. Gibbe. Probably.
What was he doing?
Probably the great Gibbe.
Trying to get some toner and the cartridges there?
Yeah, he's hustling around, long strides. This is it's about as good as it gets, as an opener would be. I mean, it's the marquee of marquees.
Yes.
It is all you need to know how big it is that Brady's going to be here to do it. It's his first game calling a regular season game. Now, you'll have him in preseason, but this will be the first regular season game he calls.
So a couple things on that. Number one, I think that shows you that we as an organization, Gibbe looking great in that striped shirt.
He's ready to go.
As an organization, we are not viewed in anything other than a very positive light by the league. There's a time when we were hidden and not to be talked about. This is
in
saying,
the recent memory, even.
Yes.
Yes.
No, most recent
as
memory,
recent
as can be.
is to play at 1 o'clock, and we'll see on down the road.
Yeah, this is saying
Not
that's
that.
over with.
Yeah.
That's over with, which is good. That's
good.
a good thing. Yes.
Were you there in 08?
For the home game here?
For the Cowboys home opener in 08?
No, I would have been on TV.
Probably not. You were still doing the fantasy.
Yeah. I'd been in New York City.
New York City. I was there. I was at this game in 08, coming off of 07. The blonde and I had come up, and we went with their parents to the game. This is the one where Braylon drops it, at least one in the end zone.
Yeah.
I could tell you the amount of you were coming off a 10-6 season. You had all of that young talent that was returning, and the excitement walking down to the stadium on that day. Now it ended poorly, but the excitement walking down to the stadium that day, it honestly, and at that time I had just covered some Super Bowls, and it felt like a Super Bowl. It felt like that was the energy. It was a gorgeous day.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Sun-kissed, all of it. It was a 425, and you walked down, and it had that energy to it. And this one will match that. It will have that same energy to it. It's going to be a stunning thing. To get them at home to open it?
Let's hope we don't get a cloud hanging over us like we did in our last home opener. So the last time they were here was 2016. Now, I was at that game on the sideline.
Yeah. I said for the opener.
Not great.
Not great, Bob. No.
35-10 was that one.
Yeah.
Cowboys went to 7-1. Browns went to 0-9.
See, that was before all the winning started. And
Yes,
I
you were around.
I'm locked in with the winning. I don't know those times.
Dak, 21-27, 247, 3 touchdowns. Zeke, 18 for 92 and 2 touchdowns. Witten, 8 catches, 134, and a touchdown. And amazingly, Zeke is back.
He is back.
With the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's still their quarterback. Do you want to take a leading passer, rusher, and receiver for the Browns in the game? 35-10, Dallas Cowboys, 2016.
What month?
This was week number. It was the 9th game. Week number 9. So my guess is it's the very end of September. It looks like September.
Probably.
No,
October.
November 6th. November 6th.
End
I'm
of
sorry.
October. Yeah.
I was seeing where it was posted on YouTube.
I'm gonna
November
go
6th, 2016.
Kaiser.
No.
Kessler.
Yes.
Running back. This would have been better if I did this with you versus you doing this with me, because this team is so.
I would have guessed it, but in the
anonymous to me.
opposite way. So the leading rusher in the game for the Browns was actually Duke Johnson, who had 5 carries for 30 yards. The leading receiver in the game was actually Isaiah Crowell, 4 for 63. I would have had those reversed. Second leading receiver in that game was Terrell Pryor, 5 for 47 and a touchdown. Jeez.
Yeah.
Louise.
So it's funny in my mind's eye, if you would have asked me what was the score of the opener in '08, I would have said like 37-17 is what it felt like in my head.
Yeah.
It was actually 28-10. Cowboys beat us 28-10 in that game. They were up 21-7 at half and then kind of cruised from there. Romo, who I remember the chant walking down very crystallized in my head. Romo is you can feel how that went going forward. So that was kind of like the chant going down. Romo went a robust 24 of 32 for 320, a touchdown and a pick in the game. Derek Anderson just 11 of 24 for 114.
So that was coming off of the 2007
Coming
season.
off of
where he
the
was a
07
Pro Bowl.
season, they
Yeah.
were 10-6. Yeah. The leading rusher for the Cowboys that day. Do you have that? In
2008?
Yep. That's a big reach, even for a fantasy guru such as yourself.
I'm going to say, can I give you two names?
Yeah.
Felix Jones.
Nope.
Marion Barber.
Got it.
I should have got Marion Barber first. That was my first guess.
16 for 80 and a couple of scores for Marion Barber.
Yeah, the Barbarian.
Leading receiver for the
Dez.
Cowboys that day was Witten.
Witten.
Witten was the leading receiver.
Was Dez on that team?
I believe so. Winslow was our leading receiver, and Jamal Lewis our leading runner.
I don't know. Was Braylon playing yet? Because at that point,
Oh,
remember, he had stepped on someone's cleat running barefoot in training camp.
Oh, no.
and
He played, and he had a drop
had a-
in the end zone that I will remember only forever in that game.
only forever.
Only forever. Yeah. It was
That
a,
was
it was
the
a deep
beginning of the
ball
end for Braylon
right through.
in the
Yeah, that was
CLE.
it. He went 2 receptions, 14 yards, and he was coming off of the monster year. Didn't he have like 17 touchdowns a year before, something
15
crazy?
16.
touchdowns.
16, right?
What's that?
16?
It was a monster year the year before.
I don't know. I mean, we had so many Pro Bowlers. We had a lot of.
I'm pretty sure it's
talent.
16. I'm gonna
16.
Okay.
Yeah, he went. He ended up 80
We
for
have a new Esteban. He's putting me on camera. It's a good way to be your last
Yes.
Esteban.
80 for 1289 and 16 touchdowns for Braylon the year
Would
before.
you guess that he would never have another 1,000-yard season, nor would he ever even reach half of that touchdown total
I
again?
think we traded him halfway through the
He
year
doesn't.
to the Jets.
The rest of his career, he does
2009
not.
you traded
The
him.
rest of his career, he does not get 16 touchdowns. He has 15. The rest of his career.
That's right.
Added up.
That's
So he
right.
has 16 in one season, 15 the rest of the way, and yet somehow showed up as like a Jets legend at the draft. Remember that? We didn't even
yeah.
talk about that. He was like a Jets legend.
His best season with the Jets, he caught 53 of 101 targets. That's not great. For 904 yards and 7 touchdowns, average 17 yards a catch. So that part was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2007 Browns. That was a pretty solid. That was a solid football team in terms of their ability to put points on the board. Derek Anderson, 10-5, 37-87, 29 touchdowns, 19 picks. Jamal Lewis, 1,304 yards, 9 touchdowns. Winslow had 82 for 1,106 and 5, and then Braylon 80, 12, 89, and 16. So that's did Odell and Jarvis both hit 1,000 in a season together?
I don't know that they did together, did they?
Because
It had to have been in 20.
I think they were close.
In 2020?
They did.
They did?
they did. That's what I thought. So they're the
That's-
first. They're the only
Job
ones
Paulus.
since that.
Job Paulus on that.
Since
Paulus
that.
on the
I
spot.
thought they did. Was it 8? Was it 8?
Had to be 20.
20? No, because Odell got hurt in 20. It had to be 19.
19, I believe.
19, yeah. And
Odell
just barely.
was here for 2.5 seasons?
Odell's first year was 19. 20.
That was supposed to be pure joy, but then
20
derailed.
got hurt against Cincinnati on the first play of the game on a pick.
Oh, that's right. And then
And that was week 7 of 2020.
back in
and
21.
then back in 21 and didn't finish that season.
so really played like
one season.
one full
Full
season
season.
and then like parts of 3,
yeah.
but total of about 2.
Yeah.
So there you go. So it's about as exciting as it gets. I love the fact that this is the opener. Kevin Stefanski does too. He says exciting to be able to open the season at home. Last year's home opener was electric. We expect the same atmosphere. We feed off our fans' energy. I'm sure there will be a little extra juice from them with this being the first one of the 2024 season. The Cowboys are the defending NFC East champs. It'll be a great challenge. We are looking forward to it.
I think the other positive is we were a little concerned because the following week is Billy and Rod. So
No worries.
We're thinking that we're going to go on the road, but who knows?
So we're going to go Cowboys home and then road in the division is my guess.
Well, we know that it won't be at Cincinnati
'Cause
week 2.
Right, because they get Kansas City.
Yeah, so you're either going to go to Baltimore or Pittsburgh then.
But I mean, the good news is you at least get a home slate to kick things off at least once.
I didn't think the NFL would do that to us. Go road to start.
No.
That, you're going to get one home in your first two.
I do think. I think from a ticketing standpoint for the Browns, it's not ideal in the sense that the home opener is going to be sold out no matter who you played. Like Dallas would have been a draw
Listen,
at
sir,
any point in the year.
This is the Cleveland Football Browns in a season coming off of a playoff season.
Yes.
With our quarterback returning. I'll be damned if there's empty seats for any of them.
Let's go. I agree with you. There shouldn't be.
This is football America.
It's the
in
cradle,
the heartland,
the
if
cradle,
you will.
The heartland.
This is like, let's be real here, kid.
you buy your clothes at the hardware store.
I mean, put your Carhartts on and get your butts down. They're not going to be a problem.
Let's unite by stripes.
Come on.
We bark together. By the
I was
way,
going to say, dude,
how many
you've
do you
dropped
got?
you've dropped a couple.
we bark together.
We got a few of them in there.
I thought it was the Hardland.
I got
was
that. I had dropped
the
the
Heartland, but the
upside their head.
store was called the Hardware Store.
Hardware store, yeah.
WEAR.
That's right.
And by the way, AB dropped a We Bark Together on McAfee.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. We got a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I used to have to close a TV show with We Bark Together on the Dog Pound Report.
Is that the year we won no games?
Knowing you now, the way that I do, I'm not saying I wish I could have participated in that.
I wish
stretch.
you could have. You know what else used to happen at that time? We would tape,
Yeah.
I think it was a 30-minute TV show.
Uh-huh.
It was either 30 or an hour,
Okay.
live to tape,
Okay.
except not. So if somebody messed up a word or if somebody
Oh, my God.
redo an entire, so it would take us about 3 hours to shoot a show. And I was like, let's do it live.
Got to do it live.
Do it live.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Like do it live.
I don't know if I've told you guys this before. When I first moved to Columbus, my wife was already there. She was at the NBC affiliate. And when I first moved there, the place that initially hired me, it was under the Channel 10, which is CBS affiliate umbrella, but it was an entity called the Ohio News Network. And they're most famous for having the high school football playoffs forever.
Okay.
And
Correct.
so I was hired to be their
The
sports
ONN.
guy. Yeah, the ONN. So I was hired to be their sports guy under the Channel 10 umbrella, but basically I was the sports face of the Ohio News Network when I first got here. And we had various shows during the week, Buckeye Blitz, Track Time, a crew show, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
But so I took the job. It was great. I moved up here without anything, and I rolled the dice, and it all worked out. Probably 2 weeks after I moved up here, I had the job. One that I didn't even honestly know which was open at the time. So it all worked out. So the very first day, I'm getting the tour of the facility with the news director, and I walk in because they were the Ohio News. They did news, right? So I walk in, and the guy's doing some news at like 2:36 in the afternoon, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And the news director goes, oh yeah, we taped the news. Come again? What are you talking about? You taped the
something
news.
happens. This isn't
What
Wednesday
are you
night taped.
What are you talking about? We're taping the news. Oh, yeah, we have the opportunity to go live, but it's called The Wheel, and we tape it, and then we put this in, and then it runs perpetually, and I'm going, what did I sign up for? What are we doing? So to your point, I would do live half-hour shows, or I would do like live news on the CBS affiliate, but if I had to do like a hit, like on LeBron James deciding to leave Cleveland the first time, when I would do that hit, if somebody said something wrong, they'd have to do it all over again. And I said the same thing you just said. Do it live always. Then you can't make mistakes because you're held to a different standard.
And
If you tape
also
it-
people know that on live, sometimes somebody fumbles their
Right.
and
It's
you
fine.
move right through it.
It's fine. You just keep going. Keep going. Keep it moving.
They don't know what you're
don't
supposed to
know.
say.
Come on.
That's
It's fine.
dude. I needed you there because I
I
think
would have
you
been
would
there for you on that.
would've-
I would have blown through that.
Remember
Go.
the first one we ever did took like 3 hours, and I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
what is going on?
Can't do. That's not possible. Can't have it. Once live. That's it. That's the
it.
way it goes. So that's very, very exciting.
It is exciting.
And we've had some of the other leaks that have come out. And we'll get to those momentarily.
yeah, do we
on
have
this.
everything we know in here?
I think we do.
So we really only know
don't get into some of it.
I'm not
'cause
going to.
got
We
the
really
whole
only
next
know
segment.
3 other games. I thought we knew a little more.
No,
than
there's.
that.
I think there's a little bit more.
Whoa!
can
Who
get
put
into
this into the rundown?
Is that color?
Who put that in the rundown?
The new Esteban.
Look at
The
that.
summer Esteban.
Wow.
Oh, summer
Wow.
Esteban. I like it.
SE.
Esteban is dead. Eaten.
Was he
Swallowed
chewed?
whole.
No.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been remiss because I know that there were some of the people out there that were concerned. Look at this. He's dressed up today.
Suited.
Everybody's dressed
suited.
up.
Everybody's suited. Who's here?
I don't know.
Suited.
Big day.
It's a Tuesday.
yeah,
it's a Tuesday. Jeez. Suited up.
So Pedro
Yep.
doing great. Doing great. Couple of stints. No bypass needed. Feels great. Talked to him last
Brand
night.
new man.
Brand new man.
New outlook on life.
Yeah, he's complete. He was complete. He's like, I'm sure they're going to tell me I can't drink wine now. And I was like, I really don't think that's the problem. I think they're going to say, stop eating so much salami.
Salami is a food group's of choice.
And not a good one for your health.
You usually end up like Bobby Bacala if you
well,
go that way. That's how it can go south.
Well, that's how where we were headed. But
Versus a train
I
train
appreciate
stop.
everybody's well wishes. Jade McRae sent a very nice note, and so thank you, Jade. By the way, did you see who Jade's opening for?
She's a bit of a big deal. I don't know if you've heard. Actually, they're here this summer, and I can tell you that Jade potentially, I suppose she
I
could
would
be
imagine
here.
she would be for the
There's
Hackney Diamonds
There's
tour?
a little band called the Rolling Stones. Their tour is called the Live Hackney Diamonds Tour, coming to Cleveland Brown Stadium on Saturday, June 15th. Tickets are on sale now. Visit clevelandbrownstadium.com/Rolling Stones for more information and to purchase your seats today. So
Yeah.
that is a rather large band with her and Joe opening up for. Yeah, it's
Summer Esteban. Have you heard of the Rolling Stones? Big deal, yeah?
Yes.
So a musician that is chosen by them to open for them on a tour, would you say that is a musician of consequence?
He says yes.
Yeah, we would too.
And we would too. And I would like you to know, Summer Esteban, that this musician that we are talking about has made multiple jingles in support of established segments on this program, and Gibbe won't play them.
He will refuse.
We have played them.
Once.
Once.
I think we made him.
the
I think you were
sweet
gone.
spot is unbelievable.
The sweet
We
spot
played
is
him
very
before.
good. I think the sweet spot's very good.
There's a bunch. She did a bunch of different things.
It's the Joe Thomas Hour. That's a good one. That's got a great.
That's a great jingle.
That's a very good jingle. Yeah,
She's opening for the Rolling Stones, Gibbe.
that's a big,
Yeah.
big.
And she has
Band.
donated her time and her voice, which is mellifluous to say the very least, to our program. And she's getting frozen out like Matty Lowe froze me out in high school basketball.
Eddie Lowe.
Yeah.
What type of player was he? Who's his NBA comp?
He was a solid high school point guard.
What's his NBA comp?
I mean, the person that came to my mind was John Stockton, because he was a good defender, he could shoot, and he was a pretty good point guard, so he didn't give me the ball enough.
Well, then he wasn't a very good point guard if he
Yeah.
froze you out.
Yeah. But he wasn't like flash, he was just
Maybe he was jealous of your stroke and your unwillingness to play defense. You're a lot. That's another. You and Bootsy. There's a lot of that.
I
Bootsy's-
totally reject what you just said.
Well, you told me. No, that's you saying that.
I'd
You
say
said you're unwilling.
No.
You're not
No.
interested on that end. You said.
Well, I'm not interested, but I was crafty enough and long enough to be.
Kind of get in the way of things.
Yes. Was I going to go slap the floor and defensive slide left and right and all this and fight through screens? No,
No one does that. One
Of
human did
course
that
not.
ever.
Yeah, there's Kevin Geary on my team. Tried to
That's
kill
it.
me too, and I went in for
One
a dunk.
guy did that.
Knocked my legs
Well,
out.
Everybody's
landed on
got
my
one of
head.
those guys on your team.
Put me in, coach. I'll run Vegas for you.
All right.
That's what he said.
Choose your own adventure.
Okay.
Do you want to do Cavs
Yes.
and all that, all of that circuit, all that was around that last night,
or
would you like some of a couple of stories from my father?
Yeah, I want to know how you're. Did you take him to the airport this morning?
So last night,
Hold on, let's start with the yesterday. Did you take him to the airport this morning?
we get back from lacrosse, and I said we were down in Jackson. I said it would really be easier for me if you let me hire Jim the driver.
JTD.
and let him get you, because you fly at 8:45. It's about 30 minutes each way for me.
Yeah, of course.
I got to prep
You have
my
a
morning work.
yeah, you have a
I got stuff I got to do. Like, it would be easier for me if we did this. His response: I'd prefer if you drove.
I know that you'd prefer it, but that's not necessarily what's going to happen.
All right.
So you did it. Why do we do this? So we're.
What time did you leave? Because you got to deal with rush hour even with a turnpike.
Not that early. I mean, I took the turnpike, so I mean, I left at 6:45. It was a half hour door to door.
We're somewhat culpable in this. We are enablers to some degree.
Okay, but also sometimes, like, how many battles can I fight? Infinite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that came on the heels of apparently this weekend when he and I went to Costco. Apparently what he does is he packs snacks in his he doesn't even really come with much because he leaves clothes here. So like he doesn't really come with much. He's got like a tiny bag and that's it.
So he has like a Cleveland wardrobe?
Yeah. Yeah. He just left it.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Where?
In the guest room.
In the guest room closet.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the only one who's ever in there. So it stays there. So he doesn't pack. So he shows up. He's got a bag and that's it. Well, apparently in this bag, he's got like a feed bag, snacks,
Cashew nuts.
almonds, cashews, and apparently some chocolate. So fast forward to Saturday, he and I go to Costco. Apparently this is how it started. Bootsy came up and he goes, Dad, Grandpa says we owe him chocolate. And I go, so I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like,
Grandpa says we owe
him chocolate. And I go, okay, I don't even know what this is in reference to. I'm terrified to even ask. So we go down and I go, what are you talking about? He's like, and so then the story starts to come out. So apparently when he and I and NBC went to Costco, must have been Friday evening or late afternoon, Amy and the other two, Beamsy and Bootsy, brought Buddy Garrity into the basement. Unbeknownst to them, my father left one of the doors to his guest bedroom open.
Okay.
Or at least
And Buddy Gary got in there and ate some chocolate?
he got in there and got into some cashews or whatever and almonds, and apparently then walked out of the room with the chocolate bar in his mouth. Okay? To which point my wife took the chocolate bar
Right.
and threw it away.
Dangerous.
Dangerous if they eat a ton of it.
Sure.
Right? So takes the chocolate bar, throws it away. My father's beef is that we did not allow for him to eat the chocolate that was in the dog's mouth. That was still good chocolate. This is his contention.
Can I ask a question?
And that we then owe him a chocolate bar. To which point I said, I think you've done just fine.
What kind of yeah, he has done quite fine. What kind was this some special chocolate that could only be found in
think it was
Montana?
knowing him, it was probably just like a Hershey bar or something. Like $1 chocolate. Keep in mind, scholarship. Right?
Complete scholarship.
Oh. Yeah, complete. So I go, he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. But you know that with them, that there's a kernel of,
They're not kidding.
they're not kidding. It's tongue-in-cheek at best.
No, they're not kidding.
They're not kidding. No, he's very upset about a bar of chocolate.
Yeah, wishes he had that chocolate.
That was somehow.
You know what would make me happy right now? My chocolate bar that your dog ate.
Yeah, that's right. He wasn't even mad that the dog got into it. So I explained to him, I said, this would be very much like you getting mad. Like, let's say that you had a corral that you put horses into, right? And I am in the place of you.
I hope he
and
has the proper number, by the way.
Let's say that I go ahead and I put the horse, but then I don't close the gate on the horses.
And the horse leaves.
Whose fault is it? The person who didn't put the gate on?
That's right.
Or the horse and the horse owner? The person who didn't close the gate.
That's right.
You're the person who didn't close the gate.
I
That's
learned
the
that at
analogy.
Yellowstone.
That's right.
Watching the show.
That's the analogy I gave him. So I said, "That's it. That's your operation there. You're to blame for this."
Yes.
that didn't go particularly well. I told you that he was eating the peanut butter. The dog was eating the dog's peanut butter. Did I do that story with you?
No.
I saved that too.
I don't think that you've told us a lot.
Saturday. This is Thursday. He got in Wednesday night, and I have several peanut butters. I have a peanut butter that the children eat, and then I have a peanut butter, a big Jif that says Buddy's peanut butter on it. Huge black Buddy's peanut butter on it. Here we go. So Thursday morning, yep.
Does this peanut butter just get put on the ground and Buddy goes and has licks?
No.
Or
I
is
use
it scooped out?
It's scooped into a Kong.
Right, for a Kong. Perfect.
For a Kong.
So he did eat, but it wasn't like he was eating like...
He would have been eating peanut butter that the knife that used to fill a Kong it also goes into without being wiped.
Yes.
So I can go back and forth.
Fair.
Buddy's not licking it.
Sure.
So I get on Thursday morning, he's making himself like early a piece of bread and peanut butter, and he's using the peanut butter that says Buddy's peanut butter. It says it all over it. So what do? Hey, it's dog's peanut butter. Or do you just say, look, that would be embarrassing. Let's just hope for the best.
I would be like, hey, so I'd ask him if his eye are your eyes doing all right? Because what do you see when you pick up this Buddy's peanut butter? Are you Buddy? Or is Buddy the dog?
His answer to that would be, oh, it don't matter. It's fine. That'd be his answer.
So fine.
Okay. So I just let him eat the peanut butter.
Fine.
So on Saturday, he actually watched me fill one of Buddy's Kongs with the peanut butter.
Yeah.
He was there when I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I was hoping it would click. Didn't click.
Doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
Well, now at that point, he's going to eat that
Now
peanut
he's
butter.
because rather than admitting we were wrong
Of
or
course.
didn't see,
No.
just lean into
I'm
it.
showing you how much I don't care that your dog's Kong.
All right.
Somehow.
I got two more.
Okay.
It
Can I just, this was the ride.
was uneventful, which is what I wanted. Uneventful. Which
Good.
is a big win for me.
Huge win. How nervous were
Could have
you
gone
when you,
a lot of- I
how
was-
nervous were you when you like pulled out
I
when you
just kept
finally got
trying
close?
I just wanted that to go quick. I just need to get quick. I love my father. He's great with my kids, but I just wanted uneventful. I'll see you on down the road. We'll see you when we see you. So the other thing that we do at the home is we don't, and I think most people our age don't do this now. We don't wear, like most times people take off their shoes when you come into your house, right?
Yes.
Unless you're having like a house party. I think that's like the one time where people can, like if you're having 30 people over, you can't have 30 pair of shoes and people walking around with their golden toe.
No.
Like that's not going to work.
No.
So in lieu of that, every other instance you take your shoes off when you
course.
come in. It's standard. It's the way we go as
I think
a
it's
society.
pretty- I think
We've
it's
evolved. That's it.
Pretty normal.
He's not a fan of this. Okay? So he does it begrudgingly. So he finds a pair of Ugg slippers of mine that he's wearing. So these are his house shoes for the stay, right? So he puts them on. It's fine. So I'm observing him on Sunday morning as after the big rains on Saturday, and he's in the house shoes in the grass in the mud. Once you wear the house shoe outside, it ceases to be a house shoe.
No longer a house shoe.
And I don't even care about the shoe. That ain't it. That's not a house shoe anymore.
No, it has to be taken off.
That's it. Taken off. Well, he sees, why? These are slippers. I understand that. But once you cross the threshold, and honestly, I'd have some leniency. You want to go deck? Fine.
Walk on concrete.
Concrete,
Fine.
stonework,
Great.
knock yourself out.
Grass, mud.
Patio?
No.
That's the threshold. Once you go into that, not house shoes. In his mind, house shoes.
I don't imagine he walks out to the pasture and then walks right into his home.
Before my mom passed, no. Since, I think yes. Since, I think yes. He's been unfettered, left to
Unchecked.
run amok for over a decade.
Yeah.
Last one. My cousin is going to take over my aunt and uncle's ranch. Okay, he's taking it over. So
Is this new information?
this was always anticipated, but they're taking some finagling and they're trying to figure out, what's it going to look like, how this is going to be.
And this is the
No.
ranch?
There's two.
Got it.
This is my aunt married a guy who has his own ranch, had his own family ranch.
Got
going
it,
back
got it,
100
got it,
years.
got it,
So
got it,
this
got it,
is
got it, got it. Okay.
that's like the
Yep.
like if Rip had a ranch and Beth married Rip, his family
They
ranch.
would have that ranch.
Yeah, so they got it. We're on the way to the airport today. So my cousin, really smart guy, he's in finance. I'm like, he's going to crush this. Like he's like 40, I think he's 41, 42. Like he's going to crush this. And my dad goes, I don't know if he's going to crush it. I said, why wouldn't he crush it? He's really smart. He grew up there. He knows the property. I said, he's probably the smartest guy in your whole family when it comes to money. Like this makes a lot of sense to me. And he goes, well, can he fix fence?
Can he? Can he hire
No.
people too?
That's what I said. I go, he's not going to be fixing fence. I said, why would fixing fence be the threshold? I fixed fence when I was 10.
Yeah.
Go hire somebody to fix the fence. Sell the cows at the right time to sell the cows. That's the job.
Yeah.
I love him to death, but holy hell. It's a scene, man. It's a scene.
What did the? I feel like when you go to Montana, you guys go elsewhere. You
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
an adventure. You go elsewhere.
Yeah, keep
so
it
it's
moving.
probably like an adventure.
Yeah.
How did?
They love him to death.
So they don't
Crawling
get
all over
They
him.
don't get tired of his act.
No, love it.
Okay.
Love it.
And he's
All of
fully
it.
engaged to
Loves
have
it.
them. Crawl.
Loves them.
That's
Wrestles them, crawls them. Can't wait to go to their games. Can't wait to talk about their games. Can't wait to all of that.
That's pretty
As
cool.
bought in as can be.
Well, that's
So that's the point.
That's pretty
That's the win.
redeeming. That's pretty redeeming.
That's the redemption story, Bob. Right there.
Now, if you don't have necessarily
have-
that, the other's a little tougher.
A little tougher. Yeah, but so there's the win.
Yeah,
that's the
there's the win.
redeeming part of it. Yeah. It
No,
was a
that's good.
scene, man. Absolutely. All right, we've got some leaks of NFL games. We're going to get you those that we know. We've got I can't wait to talk to Gibby about what happened last night. I mean, I cannot wait to talk to you about this. We're off and running on a Tuesday edition, Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. The Rolling Stones, Hackney Diamond Sewer coming to Cleveland Browns Stadium Saturday, June 15th. Tickets are on sale
With Jade,
now.
maybe.
With Jade, perhaps. Be great if we get that confirmed. Visit clevelandbrownsstadium.com/Rolling Stones for more information and purchase your seat today. Wouldn't that be something if there was if they did autographs and there was a bigger line for her because of her CBD fame than even for Mick Jagger?
I feel like it's possible. So they're May 15th. They're doing Seattle. She's opening in Seattle. She was tweeted 18 minutes ago at Lumen Field. So, I mean,
That's a large venue, so that feels like it's in play.
it feels like it's in play. Yes.
All right, we do have so the reason that this stuff is getting out right now is for upfronts. So right now, Fox, ABC, Disney, they're all meeting with advertisers for next year and saying, these are our wares. What would you like to buy? So that's how our game came out with Tom Brady's mug on the front of it.
Yep.
That's how all those things happened. Before we get into these other ones, what style do you think Brady will broadcast with?
I think he's going to be all the good things that Romo did and less of kind of the yuck. I don't think he's going to be like a comedian in there. I think he's going to be kind of like we get the best of the Manning cast, but without the I think he's going to be serious about it. I think he'll be affable. I think he'll be entertaining.
Sure.
I think he'll be very good at it, honestly.
Yeah, I think he'll put in the work to be good. The key to the whole thing is going to be his relationship with Burkhardt. Like, is there a chemistry?
Correct.
And that
they were already doing dry runs
Yeah.
in late January, early February.
Yeah, that can't be faked.
Correct.
You either genuinely like each other or
Yeah.
you don't. If Jim Nansen genuinely liked Tony Romo, it wouldn't have worked a week, but it did, and so that's how they. And obviously,
Yes.
Buck and Aikman genuinely like each other. You have to
Yep.
have that. All right, so we did get Rodgers at the Niners
Yep.
Monday Night Football. So that's PTSD for Rodgers.
Interesting, right?
Running
Interesting.
it right back on Monday night.
And it's in the Bay Area, so it's going to be on grass.
Yep.
So that's good. Played, obviously, college football at Cal. A lot of good story. I think that's a good one, but interesting Monday night again.
And who's the guy who rolled him up last year in the opener? I want to say he signed with the
Giants?
49ers.
I mean, it popped really before he got touched.
He did, but
It wasn't the Giants. Who'd they
It was the
open up
Jets.
against?
The Jets played against the Bills. It was somebody from the Bills.
I want to say Leonard Floyd. Doesn't he play for the Niners now?
I think you have that right. They signed him in free agency.
Yeah.
Former first-round pickup.
So Leonard
It's a
Floyd
good
playing
pull
for
by
the
you.
Bills. I thought I had that right. Leonard Floyd played for the Bills. He's the one on the hit with Rodgers with the Achilles. He now plays for the Niners. So
Yeah.
it's a Monday Night Football, same guy.
Same guy.
This is exactly like LT and going to Joe Theismann for the kids out there.
By the way, how about Leonard? If you were to take a guess, how many sacks does Leonard Floyd have in the last 4 seasons?
I think he's been around 10. I'm gonna say in the last 4 around 40.
Yeah. 10.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10.5.
Oh, on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like every year he has about 10. That's
And
really
he's on his-
consistent.
He's gonna be on his 3rd team in 3 years.
Yeah. That's really consistent.
That's pretty good.
That is very good. Yeah, that's very, very good. The first Thursday night game announced as well. It'll be the Bills and Dolphins on Thursday Night Football,
Which is week 2.
which is week 2, because, of course, the opener is already set. It is
Chiefs.
the Chiefs and the Ravens will be taking place on the Thursday before to open the season. Then you'll have Packers and Eagles Friday in Sao Paulo, right?
Yeah,
That's the
Correct.
operation
So
there.
I think most of the primetime games and the big games for week 1 are now.
We don't know Sunday night week 1 though, do we?
We do not.
No, you're right.
Well, no. Will they double dip because they'll do Sunday night and Thursday night? Yeah, they will.
yeah, they will.
Yeah, for sure.
And we do also know that the second, we did get the second Sunday night game.
CBS announced their one game that they could announce.
Well, we also have Bengals. That's the one we're missing. Bengals at Chiefs week 2.
Correct.
Sunday Night Football.
So every network, that was CBS's game that they chose to announce.
Well, they chose didn't they choose
No,
No,
Fox,
Fox.
did ours.
They choose Ravens at Bengals, though,
Yes.
right? In
Yes.
the prep, you have Bengals at Ravens. But that's not it. It's Bengals at Chiefs.
That's my fault.
All right. We don't have a Stevie to blame. All right. So it's
The Ravens don't play the Bengals.
No, they don't. So the Chiefs are the Bengals are at the Chiefs week 2. So that's their game.
Yep.
And then the Ravens are, so the Chiefs go home, but they go Ravens, Bengals out of the gate.
That's a
tough.
lot.
That's tough.
Listen, we need that. We'd like to see the Chiefs be 2-0. That's what you'd really like.
Yeah.
Like a 2-0
Two
Chiefs
divisional
team.
games, and there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the win on that. And tomorrow I didn't even know Good Morning Football was back. Thought they were on hiatus.
They're back for selective things. They were back for the draft. They're doing a special schedule release show tomorrow morning, and that's it.
Man.
Look, I understand
They're
they're
announcing the
taking that
internet.
show to – I know they're taking it to L.A. I get it. As someone who's been in programming and when ratings matter, you can't disappear for 6 months and then show back up out of the clear blue sky.
Just randomly.
And then just show up in the middle of here's a day, let's do this. I mean, unless you don't care about the over-the-air, if you're just worried about like the
And frankly,
YouTube
they
clicks or
shouldn't
whatever.
do it tomorrow. They should show up on Thursday
and do all
after
of it.
the schedule's out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, why wouldn't you do it the next day when you actually have something to react
Correct.
to?
So tomorrow at 7 a.m., they're going to do their
International games.
and we should probably be paying a little bit of attention to that, potentially, that could be in play. Boy, we got a lot of stuff here. I want to run something by you guys. I think I got about 4 minutes.
You can go as long as you like.
If Greg Sankey, who's the commissioner of the Southeastern, because we had this story yesterday that the NFL is going to go 2 games on the 21st,
And one's going to be Peacock.
and one will be Peacock. That will go
We
head to
did not
head.
talk about it on Peacock. The Peacock thing
Came
came
after.
down at the very end of the show.
Okay. So one of those games will be Peacock. The other's on NBC. That'll be on the 21st, and then it's possible they'll play Amazon games on Christmas Day. The thinking is that the 4 teams that play on the 21st will also play on the 25th. So it'll be a pod of games. My hunch is it'll be divisional games. All right. So you're competing head to head with college football. Do you think the NFL would be open to this? Greg Sankey, commissioner of the SEC, Tony Petitti, commissioner of the Big Ten. They go to meet with Goodell, and they say, hey, Raj, we'll move back our season a week. We'll start week 0. We will finish up our regular season and our conference championship games by the end of November, and then we're going to play 3 straight Saturdays, December, the first weekend, second weekend, third weekend, and we're going to play our national championship game on New Year's Day, whenever that falls. But we're going to go straight through. In exchange, will you give up those 2 Saturdays? And doesn't Goodell say yes to that?
I don't know if the NFL. I mean, look, the NFL. This is a league that's putting Christmas Day games on Wednesday.
Help me understand that. I get why it's good for college. Why is it good for the NFL?
Because why go to battle with the feeding ground of your sport?
I don't think you would. I also think that you're the behemoth.
But you might lose.
I don't think so.
You might. Depends on what games you put on those Saturdays. If it's an AFC South game and all of a sudden on the other side you've got like last year the matchup in the quarterfinal round would have been in this sense it would have been Ohio State against, I want to say it was Tennessee. Like that's
why
gonna
doesn't
rate.
the NFL just do?
Why don't they just leave Saturdays alone? Give those, and then you're going to go to February anyway. As soon as it's done, you have all the Saturdays you want.
Yeah.
Just work together. Like there's no reason for the two to butt their heads.
How many college games are there on a Saturday at that point?
Well, in that point, it'll only be the college football playoffs. So it'll only be 3.
There'd be 3 on Saturday.
They're going to play all on this year on the 21st. They're playing all 3 games. They're going noon, 3:30, 7:30, and they're done. So if you don't play,
So I wouldn't even put the NFL on that day then.
that's my.
Yeah.
So just avoid it.
Yeah.
Don't fight with each other. This league is the behemoth.
Yeah.
That league is the fastest growing one. That sport's the fastest growing, and it's the second most popular sport in the country. It's your feeder system. It allows for you to have stars who walk in ready to market, ready to go.
Yep.
All college football has to do is say, hey, let's just use our heads. Let's just move this back, and let's just be done and out of here. So what college football is giving up is playing in January, because right now they're going to play into January. So that's what they would give up. Don't
Yeah.
do that. Just be done. In other words, your playoff ends as the NFL playoff starts. Feels like a win-win. I'm out here solving problems, kids.
And if you were the NFL and you wanted to play on a Friday night, you could because high school football's done in December.
Yeah. Well, you guys know this? What Fox is going to do when they lose SmackDown?
No.
Because that's coming.
Yes.
It's this summer, right?
Yeah, SmackDown's going to, is it Turner?
I'm not sure. But they're losing it this summer at some point. And when they are, they're going to replace it with UFL games. And then the talk is what they're going to do is they're going to put those 4 Big Ten teams, the West Coast ones, they're going to be playing Friday nights. So you're going to see if USC plays a home game because they can't play them big noon.
Moving to USA.
Yeah. So you can't what date? What's the date? It's this summer.
October 2024.
Okay, so it's into the fall. I was off on that. So into the fall. So once that happens, they'll put a college football game at 8 o'clock on Friday night to take over at 8 o'clock.
Wasn't the thought never to not do that because of high school
Ohio
football?
fights it like crazy. I mean, Ohio, Pennsylvania fight it like crazy. The places that are football crazy fight it like nuts. I don't know if the California schools would play it or not. The other problem with it is for the California schools, Fox's entire investment is to big noon. You can't play on campus at 9 a.m.
No.
That's ridiculous. So in order to get their money out of those 4 schools, they have to have the 8 o'clock window.
Separate prime time window.
On Fridays. All right, we had a quarterback who raked in a very, very, very nice deal. We'll get to the details on that. Plus, we have a comparison with the guy that he replaced or who replaced him coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
If your bath or shower, you're down. It is.
Bo here for my great friends at the James B. Beam Distilling Company. James B. Beam Distilling Company, over 200 years of pushing flavor forward and taking American whiskey to an entirely new direction, and now there is Claremont Steep, the ultimate expression of American single malt whiskey, 100% American malted barley, hidden notes of toffee, vanilla, caramel, whole grain, and more. America's single malt whiskey isn't bourbon or scotch. It's something entirely new. Explore the endless flavor in single grain with Claremont Steep, an American single malt whiskey that could only come from the James B. Beam Distilling Company. So it might not be something, but it ain't nothing that the King showed up courtside in a playoff game with wife in tow.
Ain't nothing.
It ain't nothing, Coach. It ain't
Open
nothing.
your arms, Gibby.
He's coming home. Tell the world he's coming home. Embrace
the
him,
rain
Gibby. Bring him
Wash
home.
away all the pain of yesterday, and your kingdom awaits.
Come on, Gibby. He's
It-
coming,
it
baby.
is-
He's coming.
In the span of an hour last night,
Coming home.
we find out that the Browns are opening the season at home against Dallas.
That's right.
Spida is out.
Yep.
Wahlberg, the Kardashians, and LeBron are going to the game.
They were all there?
All there.
Yeah.
Which ones? Which Kardashians?
Kim and Khloe.
Really?
I guess.
Kardashian. Yeah.
Well, Chloe with the Tristan connection, so that
Sure.
makes some sense. Why would Wahlberg? What's his? Just the Wahlburgers restaurant
Wahlburgers.
stuff?
I don't know. He's got a car dealership
He's got to be
here
a
now.
Celtics fan.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's well, maybe. I don't know.
I don't
I would think, yeah.
I don't know. Like I think the internet broke last night.
I didn't see
about
the
an hour before
Kardashians there.
tip.
I'm very disappointed.
So what?
I don't even know how to
What?
follow that up. So this morning, Wendy gets asked about it on Get Up.
Yeah.
And Wendy goes, LeBron and his wife were guests of Dan Gilbert last night. And I'm like, excuse me?
Of course they were.
Is that even
Like,
allowed?
Dan Gilbert, like, they wanted to come to the game. They were visiting their mothers in Akron.
Mother's Day.
Wanted
makes
to
sense.
come to the
Yeah.
game Monday
Yeah.
night. Dan Gilbert rolled out the red carpet for him.
Good.
Now, they had to like go to the Lakers and be like, hey, FYI, we are doing this because the whole tampering thing. But there's LeBron courtside last night.
I mean, when they did the video and you hear Ahmad say from St. Vincent, St. Mary, come on, you get chills. Come on. Place
Yes.
goes nuts. All of a sudden he's there.
Yes.
That dude, come on.
Yes.
Come home.
Yes.
One more run. Who gets hurt? Close it out where it started.
Not going to lie, his wife looked miserable.
She did not seem pleased to be there.
No.
No.
But, I mean, that was the side attraction to. Luckily, I feel like TNT had that last night. I mean,
he doesn't do anything on accident.
No.
nope.
So,
It's either he is coming back or he did that to make the Lakers give him the money that he wants.
but why would the Lakers not give him the money he wants? They don't have a choice.
Because what are they? They're giving it for what?
Well, they have to
They're
be
not-
box office though. They're
They're not going to be good.
Well, they played a competitive series against Denver last year. They were in the Western Conference
Haven't
Finals.
they not
They're
won a playoff series? They went 2 years ago.
No,
Eastern
2
Conference.
years ago
and
they
then
were the
this year
Western
they
Conference
did not.
Finals.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Or
yeah,
Western
so
Conference Finals,
yeah, they lose. I mean, they get bombed by Denver, and they're not going to win a title. But you're the Lakers. You can't go back to the abyss post Kobe. What that
Nick
was.
Van Exel, let's go.
Well, that wasn't so bad. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the post Kobe abyss was bad. That was really bad. That was starting. They had nothing, man. That was brutal.
They actually
They're not
had
going
some
back to
decent players, though. They just got rid of them all.
Well, no, but I mean, it was like they drafted Lonzo Ball
Yeah.
ahead of Jason Tatum.
Yeah. Didn't they have like Brandon Ingram?
Or which Ball was it? One of them's good. LaMelo's good. It's Lonzo. Yeah, Lonzo. Yeah, Lonzo.
Are
They
they-
drafted.
are
Is
they-
he
second
still in the
overall.
league?
Is he good?
I think LaMelo's good when he's healthy. I think he's okay. But he's
Are,
not
are
healthy
either
much.
of them in the league?
Yeah, LaMelo I think was with
Charlotte.
Charlotte, but I don't know if he played this year or not. But no, so like the Lakers would give him 3 years, 150 in their sleep to do that.
Bulls Lonzo Ball picks up $21 million option for 24-25 season amid knee concerns. So he's still making
He's killing
$25
it.
million a year.
Yeah.
That is outrageous.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fascinating, and I give the Cavs credit last night because you're down 40% of your starting five, and It was a game late in the fourth.
People
but
I always acknowledge, like, I'm not watching every game like this. Like, my kids are interested a little bit. They prefer the college. They're into it now. And so we've watched all of the playoff games. And I said this a couple weeks ago. And I don't know, maybe it's just Darius and Donovan are redundant.
Well,
When one's not there, the other's better.
Yes.
You don't need them both. They're both.
Ye-
Donovan's a
Donovan's
better version.
better.
Of course, I'm
What-
not saying they're the same, but like the Garland you got last night is the Garland you thought you had a couple of years ago. He needs to be on the ball, right? He's not an off guard.
no,
And he has to play off. So what they have to figure out this summer is Donovan going to stay? If so, then you need to ship Garland out
Yes.
and get somebody bigger, a bigger wing to play.
Or you have Garland be a guy who comes off the bench.
But he's
when-
too good for that, as I think we saw last night.
Plain
He is
and
a
simple.
starting all-star point guard in the league.
What is the identity of this team?
It isn't.
Well,
I
they
will-
had one until they got Mitchell, and then it became Donovan Mitchell and people around
And
him.
company.
They were building towards something that was different.
Well,
and I don't take it back. Mitchell's a superstar. You love it. But they don't work together.
No, you need to construct the proper team. I will say, I thought last night, like, they actually ran plays for Strus where he was coming off screen. And guess what? He was pretty good at that.
Well, for the first half.
You're
Yes.
never going to beat them without Mitchell and Allen.
Yeah.
You're not. They cover City.
Based on Karis LeVert, nothing basket. That's funny. I thought about you saying that when that happened. Look, it just seems to me that, there are certain guys on this team that do function a little bit better in situations where, right, they get the football a little bit or get the basketball a little bit. Things with Garland, all those guys. And Mitchell, it just becomes a ton of one-on-one.
One-on-one.
And that's it. I thought last night, one thing they have to do, they've got to do a much better job of is there were multiple instances last night, and even one on the possession where they had a chance late, I think, to tie it. Mm-hmm. And Strus chucked up like a bad three from deep.
Yeah.
If teams switch and you got Mobley on Derek White, you've got to get him the basketball in the post. You just have to do it. And they did not do that consistently enough. I thought the refs were not great in the game, but I don't think that's why they lost. I thought the tee on Tatum was wild.
Yes.
Wild. Even he was like, what? It's playoff. This is a playoff basketball. That's one of the big stars of the league. All he said was call the bleeping foul. I thought that was a wild
The
tee.
officiating was garbage. The three that the Cavs fired up at the end of the third were literally
Oh, my God.
Merrill
was
got given a high five.
Clocked.
Got bombed. Yeah.
Like that changed the whole complex of the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something, though, on the if you're going to shoot 48 threes, then you're not going to get fouled much.
True.
They shot 32. You shot 16 more threes. There's a 17 foul differential, but if you're shooting 16 more threes, that's 16 times you're not going to the cup. And you're not going to get fouled. Very rarely to get fouled shooting jump shots. Pretty rare,
Yep.
although he was at the end of the half, clearly. Yeah. No, it's they got a big summer ahead, and that was crazy seeing him there. You get all the feels back. I do, at least, when you see him out there.
You want it.
Of course you want it. Plus, he'd be good with this roster. He's good with any roster, but like this one's kind of built for him.
Yes.
Come on home, baby. Let's go. We had a quarterback get paid bigly. We will get to that coming up next. Second hour of the program. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. And be part of one of the most passionate fan base in the NFL. Join Next Gen STM, presented by Ticketmaster, official waitlist of your Cleveland Browns. Be a Next Gen STM, the best chance to become a season ticket member in future seasons. Visit clevelandbrowns.com/nextgenstm to reserve your spot today. Jared Goff, your boy, you were advocating for him those many years ago.
I sure was. In the face of great adversity from people who questioned my acumen. Shame on you.
Shame on you. Shameful. 4 years, 212, 170 of it guaranteed, second highest paid quarterback in the league. That's per year, not guaranteed. It's down the list in terms of guaranteed. Is he worthy of being the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Per year, you bet he is. Absolutely, he is.
Because it's a lot of it
They're
has
in the
come with
NFC
timing.
Championship game. Yeah. He's played in a Super Bowl. What options do they have otherwise? They're a ready-made team, and he's pretty damn good. Is he Mahomes? No, he's not. He's not on that level, but he's somewhere in that group below, somewhere between the 8th and 15th best quarterback in the league.
By the way, with maybe a little bit of better decision-making from the head football coach that he was playing with in the NFC Championship game, maybe they were played for a Super Bowl last year. And then in a one-game situation, anything can happen. But Jared Goff's last 2 years, 67% completion. He's thrown for over 9,000 yards. That's incredible. 59 touchdowns, 19 picks. Quarterback rating of 100, basically.
Sold. I'm in.
Do you know that
I'll take it.
The worst quarterback rating? He's gone 100, 101, 87, 90, 92, 99, 99. He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's very good. In terms of the first round number one overall quarterbacks, he's way up there of the last decade. There's been a lot of misses, number one overall.
Yeah.
He's way up there on that list.
Great success. And what's amazing is that he was traded because they thought his contract was the albatross.
Go ahead, do it. Do
Give
the
it
numbers.
away. And then now he's back. Now, comparing him to Stafford, great graphic from Summer Esteban from the 33rd team. Since Stafford's been traded to the Rams and Goff been traded Lions, wins 24 apiece. Completion percentage 66 apiece. Passing TDs actually 78 for Goff, 75 for Stafford. Turnovers 41 apiece. Time sacked 89 and 88. Super Bowl wins obviously 1 for Stafford and none for Goff. But he has been to the NFC Championship game and 2 playoff appearances, right? Playoffs each of the last 2 years?
Each of the last 2 years, yeah. And a team that's on the ascent.
On the ascent, significant. Yeah, very much so.
And here's the deal with them. Like, they're pushing the chips to the middle of the table, and they're saying, we're in it right now.
Sewell, Goff, Amon-Ra, all got big deals this offseason.
Yeah.
By the way,
they're in it.
Pro Football Reference, it says that Jared Goff's nickname is Mr. Perfect. That would be Kurt Hennig, R.I.P., and I've never heard that in my life.
I haven't either. No. All right, you want us to try and name the 9 quarterbacks who make up the 10 highest paid? Do you have the list?
Yes, and this is on a per year basis. So give me.
By the way, the Watson.
There's actually a
contract
tie.
is even crazy right now.
So there are 11 quarterbacks because there's a 3-way tie for 9th. So 11 QBs.
Does this include?
This is per season.
Goff's new deal.
Yes. So Goff is in. Goff is at number 2.
All right. Mahomes.
Mahomes is number 7.
Speaking of deal of the century,
$45 million a year.
was that 10-year 450?
Yeah.
You look at that.
I'm assuming that's getting renegotiated.
That could have
at
been
some
10
point.
years, $1 billion, and it would have been a good deal.
Yes. Josh Allen.
Let me look. Josh Allen is number 8 at $43 million a
Just
year.
really about timing. Lamar.
Lamar is number 4 at $52 million.
Our guy.
Yeah, that's probably number 6.
Our guy not in the top 11 in money per year.
Yeah, it's not a bad. That's why.
But
the
how's that?
contract's not crazy. It was not a crazy contract.
How does that work, though? Because it was 230 over 4.
This is
Over
from
5.
the 33rd
Over
team.
5.
I feel like that number should be a lot bigger because of the deferred money that it would have backed it
Yeah.
up. And
That feels like that feels like creative accounting that allows it for it not to be.
but currently,
Again, state school versus private, but just feels like 5 divided by 230 would be on this list.
Hold, please.
this is 5
according
o'clock yesterday.
To overthecap.com. It has Watson's Watson should be on this list. Yeah, 46. Do the math. Yes. That's wrong. Watson should be on the list.
Well, the 33rd team is wrong.
Well, they're wrong. Joe Burrow.
Burrow, yes.
Joe Burrow is number 1 at $55 million.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is number 5 at $51 million.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert's number 3 at $52.5 million.
Okay, 3.
Kyler.
Kyler's number 6 at $46. So that's where Watson would be number 6, right?
Yeah, he's 46 a year.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't have that. Can you name the final?
Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Cousins.
No.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. That's wrong.
That's wrong again. He's $45 million a year.
I don't know. This is a very poor tweet from the 33rd team, however.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going. I mean, there's creative accounting, but like that's
No, didn't Kirk Cousins sign 4 years, $180 million? Yeah.
I thought it was like 200.
4 year, $180 million with the Falcons, $100 million in guarantees.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
Come on.
I don't know
Come on,
what's the
30. All right,
annual
so they're
what's
wrong.
the per year.
45.
Yeah. Stafford.
Tied for 9th at $40 million.
Dak Prescott.
Same.
Daniel Dimes. Because
Are
he
you
was
just
40.
looking at this now?
No,
he's 40. I know he's 40.
There you go. All 3 of those guys were at 40. So
I knew
what
he
else
signed
did
with
they
you.
have
we're
wrong?
missing
here
number
on
2.
this?
We're missing who's number 2?
2 is Goff.
Goff.
Oh, Goff is 2.
Yeah, Burrow 1, Goff 2, Herbert 3, Lamar 4, Hurts 5, Kyler 6, Mahomes
Deshaun
7.
6.
So yeah, Deshaun should have been on that list, and then Cousins should
And
have
are we missing anybody else?
Yeah, so there wouldn't even have been a 3-way tie for 10th. That would have.
pushed that out because Prescott Steele's getting. They need to redo that probably this
Maybe
summer.
they are.
Yeah. Well, they are. What choice do you have? That's why when I heard people this morning were griping about Goff's money, and I'm like, dude, I use like random NBA player. Really?
Yeah.
You're worried like he's the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and you're worried about him making $50 million?
Right.
Come on. No, I think he's worthy of it. He's really good.
I just wonder if you start to see more of what we saw last year and then even this year, where it's more of the 3 and 4 year deals.
I think it'd be
Then-
smart for them to do it too. Gibbe, look at the Mahomes conversation we just had.
10
I know
years?
they're going to redo it, but like Mahomes should have done. He should do 4-year tranches.
Yeah, the fact that Patrick Mahomes is the 7th,
tranche.
well,
know you
would
do.
be
I wish we could use it more. Like we
Patrick
used to.
Mahomes would be the 9th rated highest paid
Ninth.
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean
Well,
he's
come on.
worth $80 million a year.
Listen, if we get to an 18-game season, we'll have 3 tranches.
Then we can get our tranches back.
And we'll get our tranches back.
That's what we need. We really got to get there. A couple other things around the league. Antoine Winfield with a new deal. 4 years, 84, highest paid safety in history. Remarkable that he wasn't a Buckeye. His dad was a legend and went to Minnesota instead, but was a stud.
It's interesting to me that it feels like they're running it back kind of like they're all in this year, and I just don't see them being a threat to come out of the NFC.
I feel like saying, like to them, you're not as good as you perceive yourself to be.
No.
You know?
No.
Because they're spending like they're chasing the Lombardi.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Big deal for Evans, big deal for Bake, big deal for Antoine Winfield. Bills signing 2-time Super Bowl winner Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 1 for $4.5. So you have that. The Bills are the team. We had this story yesterday. John Parry, the new officiating liaison. It was the Bills who hired him.
I'd love to hear, like, other than him helping them decide what to challenge or not in a game day situation, what he's doing for them.
What are you doing here, dude?
Yeah.
This from the, hey, you just created cable side of the
Yeah, but
program.
this sounds like a good one.
Comcast announced that Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus will be combined at a vastly reduced price. Announced on Tuesday that Stream Saver is coming sooner than later. Oh, I'm sure that's going to work out for you in the long run, kids.
Yeah.
Remember in the old
They're-
days you could
they're
get a
giving
streamer
money
for
back.
$5.99.
They're giving money back.
We make too much.
Too much.
You guys take it
have
back.
Yeah.
This is going to be this will be probably like a $19.99 a month bundle to start. This Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Plus, or probably more like $29.99 because Netflix on its own is $20. So I'm going to say $29.99 to start, in the first year, and I bet you it's to $49.99 real quickly. And you're basically at a point where you're just reverse engineering cable
Yep.
because it's Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max are going together.
Yeah, and then Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV.
How many do you have? Give me your streamers. How many do you pay for?
Netflix, Disney Plus, Peacock, Hulu, Apple Plus, Max. I don't know. Am I missing some?
So I pay for
And YouTube TV, obviously.
I pay for Disney.
Disney Plus. I didn't say that.
The Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus bundle.
Yeah.
Like
same.
I've got that one, so I pay for that. I pay out of pocket for Netflix, and I pay out of pocket for Peacock because they have Big Ten
What
basketball.
about
games.
Max?
I pay for that with my cable.
With cable.
So Max, Paramount Plus, which I get free with
I
Showtime,
think I get
with those, and then Prime.
Oh, yeah.
I've got
Prime.
Prime,
I have,
so-
yeah, Prime. So it's like 10.
Yeah, it's cable. That's all it is. Cable better reward my loyalty. Been loyal for very many years with my cable guys.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, still got it. Cruising. Nothing to see here. All right, Jamari Thrash from Rookie Mini Camp. We'll have that for you coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Welcome back into Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Ballybet, sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns, now live in Ohio. Now we head back to the podium, presented by Vivid Feats, a special fan experience partner of your Cleveland Browns. Here's rookie wide receiver Jamari Thrash.
I know it's
You're down.
still very early, but what's this last week and a half been like for you, just adjusting from being a draft hopeful to a draft pick to now in rookie minicamp?
I really just try to take everything a day at a time, to be honest with you. We got here yesterday. Flight got delayed twice, so we're kind of late getting up here. But right now I'm just taking a day at a time, trying to study the playbook, trying to make sure I stay in shape, and just keep the ball rolling.
Knowing the role that they have in mind for you, with your ability to separate and all the things that you do so well for them, are there certain NFL receivers that, have you grabbed some film on, Cole Beasley or Julian Edelman or Wes Welker, anybody like that, to sort of start to get a feel for what they want?
No, ma'am. Like today was my first day out here, so we did a walkthrough, just seeing what Coach see what Coach does in his offense, just seeing what he does in offense. Knowing they came from Buffalo, seeing what he did with those guys, and just really just finding my role and just finding my fit in offense.
What have they told you that they expect out of you?
They haven't told me anything. Right now, I'm just playing my role, doing everything a day at a time, and just making plays when opportunity presents itself.
Their personnel guys talked about really liking your ability to separate. What allowed you to do that?
Just study film, being able to knowing who I'm going against, and just intake information each play.
Do you think that skill, obviously that translated to Louisville, do you think it can translate to this level as well?
Most definitely. Yes, sir, I definitely do.
Coach McGee, I talked to him a week or so ago, and he talked about your ability to adjust to whatever, just willingness to do whatever it takes. Where does that? I mean, when did you kind of establish that mindset that, hey, whatever the team needs me to do, I'm willing to do?
Pretty early. Probably say go back to my Georgia State days. Knowing when the opportunity comes, like I said, when the opportunity comes to present itself, just make the most of it. And when I went to Just Brown's offense, I was just on one side in Coach Brown's offense, but when I went to the Senior Bowl, just showing my versatility and showing that I could play inside and outside definitely helped me.
Did you know when you went to Louisville that you would be able to make that jump as seamlessly as you did?
Sort of, because when I got in the transfer portal, I just did a lot of research and just seeing what Brom did with Charlie Jones, and knowing I played the same position as Charlie Jones, it made a lot of sense to me. So I guess you could say that.
Well, the ability to go from Georgia State to Louisville and have success, does that give you a lot of confidence coming to this level that you can make the same type of jump?
I haven't really thought about that. But yeah, I'd probably say yes, sir.
Have you been introduced to the special teams coach here yet?
Yes, sir. I just did a couple gunner drills.
How about any of the current Browns receivers? Have you heard from any of those guys yet? Have they reached out to you?
I talked to James Prochet. I talked to Mike Woods. I haven't talked to anybody else. I just talked to those two guys.
You looking forward to kind of learning under Amari?
Yeah, most definitely. Hopefully, when I get in the room with those guys, him, Judy, Elijah Moore, I'll be able to dissect, and learn different things from those guys, different techniques and different strategies when it comes to, playing football.
How tough is it going to be cracking that group to get some significant players?
I mean, they're all great players. Like I said, I'm a type of guy, I don't mind waiting my turn, and I don't mind playing my role. So whatever the coach need me to do, whatever those guys need me to do, I'm willing to do it.
Why do you think you didn't have any Power 5 offers coming out of high school?
I don't know. Like I said, I always feel like I produce, good numbers, but I don't know. I can't say.
Was that really frustrating for you back then?
Sort of, but at the same time, I know God got me, and so just taking my time. And my head coach always told me, don't be afraid to be a big fish in a small pond. So that's something that always stuck to me too. And so, like I said, my opportunity came, I just made the most of it.
You feel like the fact that you're here kind of proved everybody wrong?
I still got a long way to go. But like my job's not finished yet, so yeah, I still take time to learn and dissect stuff and different players.
Jamar, throughout the pre-draft process, there's lots about your route running. Just how much pride do you, or more so, how much of a strength is that for you? And all of the comments just about getting a chance to pick the brains of Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, guys who also sort of pride themselves on that. How excited are you to kind of learn even more techniques with that from them?
I'm really excited. I think just being in that room, it just speaks a lot of volume itself. Got guys like Amari Cooper, Coach O'Shea, he did a good job today of just showing a lot of film of Amari Cooper, showing how well he wins versus slants and his route running. So, I'm just really excited just to be in the room with those guys and just learn from them. Ma'am?
What does versatility look like for you?
Being able to do whatever my coach needs me to do, playing inside, outside, whether that's running down, being a gunner on special teams, being a punt return, whatever they want me to do.
Skill-wise, what is it maybe you feel like, I still need to work on this? This is an aspect of my game I don't feel comfortable enough with where I'm at.
Definitely my contested catches. I think that was something I struggled with in my Georgia State days and my time in Louisville.
Is there a receiver in the NFL that you most closely identify with in terms of a comp?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I watch a lot of film on guys. I watch a lot of Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith. Jamar Chase is probably one of my favorite receivers, but I don't really just try to idolize my game after those guys. I just try to, be me.
30-30.
You talked about adjusting from the lower level of college football to the Power 5. Now you're making another adjustment to the NFL. I know you haven't been out there to really experience it yet, but what are you anticipating maybe are some of the biggest adjustments you have to make at this level?
Definitely playbook. Understanding my assignment and my alignments. Like playing in the NFL, the hashes, they're a lot closer. You got more field to play with. So just understanding the alignments and assignments.
Good.
Thank y'all.
You're up.
All right, there you go.
Jamari Thrash. Great name.
Great name.
Great name. Although some people are already calling him James Thrash, the former receiver.
Feels like that was going to be inevitable.
Well, it feels like also.
You do a little homework.
Other people have been named, Nathan before. Don't just confuse
Most
them.
famous Nathan, other than you.
Hot dogs.
That's a perfect answer from him.
It really is.
I don't know. Nathaniel Hawthorne from
Nathaniel Hawthorne would be a good one.
Last of the Mohicans.
Nathan Lane. He's an Academy Award winner, I believe.
Yeah, the Birdcage.
Yep.
I think
The
a
producers.
multiple time.
Yeah, producers.
I think
he may have an EGOT.
Let's see. I mean, the one that I knew from my time down in the South was Nathaniel Bedford Forrest. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
most famous Nathans. Let's see. Nathan Fillion.
Got nothing. I think
He's
you might
on the
be
show
it.
Castle.
I mean, maybe it's different if it's Nate.
Well, so this
Nate would be different.
Famous,
I mean, Nate
most famous
might-
first name Nathan, Nathaniel Bedford Forrest. It does have a number one.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe Nate has a couple different
But that's
ones.
Nathaniel.
It is Nathaniel.
It's not Nathan,
No.
right?
Yeah, and hot dogs. man.
Nathan Hale. Nat Turner.
My cousin's name was Nathan. Nathan Bishop. Called him Skate.
that. I
Nate
like that.
Skate. A little bit of that.
Na-
He was a Nathan too. He wasn't a Nate. He was
Nathan Lane's gets no respect.
That's a shame. That's pretty. He's formidable. Resume.
Yeah. He's in Only Murders in the Building right now, which we very much enjoy.
Thoroughly.
Let's see. On stage he's received numerous awards, 3 Tonys, 6 Drama Desk Awards, 2 Obie Awards, the Olivier Award, 3 Emmys, and a Screen Actors Guild Award.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
By the way, top 2 movies it lists when you find his name: The Birdcage, 1996, The Producers.
The Producers, yeah.
2005.
He was opposite Broderick, right?
Broderick.
Yeah.
Broderick.
Yeah.
Lady
That's it.
Hawk, early Broderick. Great film.
Broderick.
Do you remember that
80s.
movie?
I don't have a point of reference.
You don't
on
know
that one.
Lady Hawk?
I don't
Dude,
think
watch
so.
it with your kids. It's Lady H-A-W, I think K-E, 1983.
Oh, it's one word. 85.
85?
Yeah. A thief
Yeah.
escapes.
Dude,
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Pfeiffer's my girl. She's in the mix.
Pfeiffer's the Hawk. And then she
Well, what's he doing? Is he like a little kid in it?
yeah, he's like Rutger Hauer's second. The warrior is Rutger Hauer, and yeah, he's like a thief that ends up rolling around with him. Dude, it's your kids will love it. It's epic. It's a great movie.
It's a Richard Donner film.
Yes. Dude,
Wow.
it's legit.
Where in the hell is that going to be streaming?
Little Alfred Molina.
Oh my gosh, it's old school. Knights and such.
Yes.
Oh,
Knights
I'll
and
be
such
danged.
medieval. No, dude, I really enjoyed that film
Oh, that's
as
very
a
good.
kid.
You were a lot of swords. The Pedro and you had a lot of swords in the mix.
It's all the Robin
Robin
Hood
Hood
show.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, all swords.
So I think your swords and Robin Hood was to my like Zorro Lone Ranger.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
So I was
that
watching
the
like
swap.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes, I've seen a lot of
Perseus.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Conan.
Conan's unbelievable. That was on the other day, and I watched for 15 minutes.
The original? Or was
yeah.
it Destroyer?
I can't remember. They kind of bleed.
Was Wilt Chamberlain in it?
That's Destroyer, right?
Correct.
Yeah. They're both great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, both strong.
Olivia D'Abo.
A lot of questions about that. That was the one that was on, and Wilt was in.
Yes.
So that was the one that was on.
Andre
a
the
lot
Giant.
of questions about what was going on there, on that set.
Yeah.
No, Bueller was my first Broderick experience.
Ah, dude, you need to watch it with the kids. It's great.
All right, give it a go. By the way, NBC, I told you guys he discovered the Arrested Development. He discovered the comedian window of Netflix, the stand-up.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a good place for
That's
him
not
to
a
be
good
dabbling.
place for him to be
right
dabbling. No, so we watched Maniscalco, which that's largely fine. He's pretty damn funny, and that's pretty good. So he loved that one, and then I'm like, dude, I think we got it. I don't even know all these guys. I don't know who's in and who's out. Like, there's some I'm sure you're fine with, like Brigazzi. There's others that I'm sure are fine, but I think there's
There
a
are plenty
great many
that are
that
not.
are not.
Yes.
in any way fine.
Yes.
So yeah, I gotta do a good job of policing.
Yes.
All right, we'll play a little better or worse coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Be sure to check out the Browns social media channels daily. Play the Browns digital scratch-off game for your chance to win club seats and other great prizes. It's presented by the Ohio Lottery, official lottery of your Cleveland Browns. Before we get to better or worse, just seeing this from CBS Sports. This is a shocker. The Big Ten championship game is going to be a CBS property this season. The Big Ten championship game.
They won the draft? Oh, no, it's Big Ten championship. Sorry.
No, Big Ten championship, yeah. So that's 8 o'clock. The first Big Ten championship with USC, Oregon, Washington, and UCLA as a part of it will be broadcast on CBS, not Fox. That is surprising and shocking.
I mean,
to
isn't
me
Fox's whole thing the Big Ten?
It is, but it's Kevin Warren, the former commissioner who's now running the Bears. He sold a Fox, CBS, NBC, NFL split of the Big Ten properties. And they had a draft last week to kind of pick games, and Fox announced their games today. They had Michigan, Ohio State. Obviously, that was the number 1 overall pick. They had Michigan and USC.
Z, you were out last week.
Michigan
and we had this conversation.
Michigan, Texas, they had, and then they had Alabama, Wisconsin.
Yeah, like the three networks have a draft, and we were like, this needs to be broadcast on
that would
TV.
Be interesting.
Be fun from any perspective. Yeah, but especially this with 3 networks picking games. So Fox put their games out. So the first 3 they dropped for their upfronts were Ohio State, Michigan, Texas at Michigan, and Alabama at Wisconsin. But all of those are big noon kicks. So that's part of that deal is that, unfortunately, none of those are going to be night games. Like Texas at Michigan at the Big House would have been awesome at night, but instead it will be a big noon kick. So CBS announces theirs, so they've got Notre Dame at Purdue on the 14th, so they take the chance to get the Irish and scoop that up. They've got USC at Michigan on the 21st, which had to be a high draft pick. And then the other one was the Big Ten championship game, 8 o'clock. That's a monster.
On CBS.
On CBS. So that had to be their biggest. I guess it's not a sure thing, but that could be Ohio State, Michigan Part 2.
Yeah.
Remember, they can play now again.
Yeah.
So it could be that. It could be Ohio State, Oregon Part 2. There's a lot in play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big. So that would tell me that NBC must have Ohio State, Penn State, for sure. They must have. Does Penn State play Michigan this year? They must have Oregon or Washington or Oregon USC.
Who had Washington, Michigan?
I don't know that one's been picked yet. Could be that one, but that's totally different. Kalen DeBoer's now at Alabama. Harbaugh's with the Chargers, so that one doesn't have the juice that it would have. But the Big Ten championship game to CBS, that's a monster move right there. Monster. But that's what's happening right now. So that's why our schedule release, this goes back to the point I was making earlier, that these two all just need to be locked in, be in lockstep, because they're all presenting their inventory at the same time. They're all selling television shows. Work together for a schedule that makes sense for everybody, for the consumer. And quite frankly, they're television partners. Because if you're CBS, you don't want to be competing with the NFL, who you're paying.
By the way, some additional college news. This is from the college basketball front.
All right.
Wisconsin Green Bay is expected to hire Doug Gottlieb as its next men's basketball
And he's going to keep
coach.
doing his show.
What?
I'm not kidding.
This is
an hour ago.
Nobody. That's on nowhere. That show. Nowhere. I don't even know.
I
didn't know he was still doing a show until you said he's going to keep doing a show.
Yeah.
So he's going to do a radio show and be the head coach of a college basketball team?
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Green Bay, or Milwaukee?
Green Bay.
He's going to move to Green Bay, Wisconsin to coach basketball while still doing his show.
Yeah.
So that feels like a stunt. If he gave up because you have to be all in now in college athletics.
I haven't seen that he's giving up or if he's keeping the radio show or
he
not.
Said he's keeping it.
At least that's what I read on
that he was keeping it.
That he's,
wow.
But he was going to keep it. Yeah.
I feel like that's a conflict of interest, but
what if he's like ragging on his kids?
Well, right, but and why would anybody? That's a Fox Sports radio show, right?
I believe so.
That's primarily a West Coast. Always used to be a West Coast programmed show. L.A. hosts do that show. Green Bay.
Not really a conflict.
I don't know. I just see no scenario how that's anything other than stunt. Like to make people remember that he's there. Like you can't You can't half-ass coaching college basketball. That's an up-and-down siege, brother.
Yeah.
There's just no way with NIL and everything else.
ABC, by the way, releasing some of their stuff for week 1 of college football as well. Week 1, not week 0, because week 0, I believe, is Georgia Tech, Notre Dame over in Dublin.
FSU Georgia Tech is in Ireland. That's that Aer Lingus.
Yes.
They do that as like a tourist thing.
So the August 31st, ESPN announced its triple header. The noon game is Clemson, Georgia. Florida hosting Miami at 3:30 in the first SEC telecast on the network. Remember, ABC takes over the late afternoon SEC games. And then the night game will be Texas A&M and Notre Dame.
All right. Well, what do you not hear? What did you not? What's missing there?
Bama.
True. I think they open with like somebody garbage. They are an ESPN week 1. I think they play like Western Kentucky or something week 1 because then they go Wisconsin the next week. But what you're missing is there's not a Big Ten team in their slate. And the only Big Ten game they have in the first 2 weeks, and some of the only ones they're going to have, they have USC LSU like week 2 in Vegas. And yes, USC's a Big Ten team. That's real.
It is real. So then there's that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's crazy. The notion that the Big 12 survived with teams like Cincinnati, Houston, UCF, that league survived and the Pac-12 failed. That's impossible. That leadership had to be so derelict of duties to be able to not. What are we talking about? You have you had 3 teams. You had 2 teams in the playoff.
Playoff.
What are we doing? How does that fail? You have Heisman winners. You have all this history, all these markets with all this population, and you blew it, man. Just blew it. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So August 24th is Florida State, Georgia Tech in Dublin.
Yeah.
ESPN's August 31st games also include Alabama hosting Western Kentucky.
There it is, yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma, which join the SEC this coming season, will have their openers on ESPN. The Sooners will host Temple Friday night, August 30th at 7.
See, it's coming.
And the Longhorns will face Colorado State on August 31st at 3:30.
Yeah, they're coming for your Fridays, kids. Like the high school football thing that used to be off limits, that's done.
Yeah, I don't like that. NBC.
The truth is that probably matters, as you pointed out, in a few places.
Sure. Yep. Texas, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania. There's a handful, but the rest.
Like that's not the New York market is not being affected by this. I don't know if the Chicago market's being affected by this. Certainly, LA is not being affected by this.
No.
NBC's first 2 Big Ten Saturday night games. August 31st, Michigan hosting Fresno State.
That's a body bag.
Yep.
That's at NBC? Prime time?
Yep. So what is this? This is all week 1 of college football that you're getting? Like, what are all these?
No, some of them are they're over the place.
Shutting
out
random games.
So here's
these are games just that we know?
These are the games that they're making a big deal about.
That they've released.
Yeah.
Similar to the NFL.
It's just like the NFL. That's why it's all happening at the same time. What's their second primetime game?
So here's the question I now have.
Did you say Michigan versus Fresno State? Is Derek Carr?
It's primetime.
Is Carr and Devontae Adams there?
NBC Big Ten Saturday night.
Jeez. What? Why? Fresno State's not even in the Big Ten.
They Michigan. Why? They'll get $4 million with Michigan.
Can't be this. The second game can't be right. Oh, it can.
Well, I'll tell you.
Hold on.
My guess is
no. I had to figure it out in my head because it's going to be Friday night, not Saturday night. And I'm like, well, that conflicts with the NFL, but the NFL is on Peacock from Brazil. It's going up against the Peacock game. That's right. Friday, September 6th, Colorado at Nebraska.
They're going Friday night with that?
NBC Big Ten Saturday night is Friday, September 6th.
What's the
Colorado, Nebraska.
Why would you do that? Why would you go against your own entity?
That's why I'm like looking at this going, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. But that's what ESPN.com is saying.
So NBC, the network, is going to air a college football game opposite a Peacock broadcast
NFL
on
game.
They're just saying they
NFL?
want everybody watching NBC or Peacock that night. They want any
on
eyeballs
a Friday
anywhere
though.
else.
Wow, that's weird.
That's
a choice.
What the hell is going on?
That's a choice.
That's weird.
I don't understand that at all.
Holy moly. The Pac-12 conference announcing that Oregon State and Washington State's home games will all be on the CW.
I feel so bad
or
for those
Fox.
two.
They have players in the league. They have some good historical squads and moments.
The Pac-12 maybe had their best year this past season.
It's really sad. It really sad.
sucks. It sucks across the board. I agree with you. It is very sad, and it's absurd that the leadership that was in that league, be it Larry Scott and George Kliavkoff the last 2 years, Kliavkoff was so bullish that he could get a deal, and it was an Arizona State or Arizona professor who was he had a deal that was bigger than the Big 12 deal, but it wasn't as big as the SEC Big 10 deals,
Which is exactly right.
where they should be. Right,
Third.
it was third, and he's like, we should get $50 million a year. And Kliavkoff went back, and ESPN said, yeah, no, we're not going to pay that. And so instead, they gave $32 million a year to the Big 12. And then they're cooked, and there was no place for them to have games. There was nobody.
Missed the Big 12.
No, I mean you wouldn't even be able to name 10 teams in the Big 12. I don't think.
All right, right?
By the way, before we get to this, Pac-12 teams that were in these are ranked Pac-12 teams in the final college football playoff ranking before the playoff. Washington was 2, Oregon was 8, Arizona was 14, Oregon State 19, and there you had 4 in the top 25. All right, you want to do the Big 12?
You got about a minute.
You got a minute on Big 12.
Can I include teams that were in the Big 12 last year? Or do I have to do it?
No. You can't have Texas and
All right, Texas Tech,
yep.
Oklahoma State, Iowa State, Kansas State, Arizona,
Yeah, you're cruising.
Nebraska.
They're in the Big
10.
Good job.
I'm cruising, but now I feel like I've hit a pretty big wall. Utah.
Utah is in. Yes, Utah is in.
Yeah, Utah
Yep.
was picked up. Colorado.
Colorado is in. Good job out of you.
All right, well, so I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got a
7.
lot.
I got 8.
Yep. You get 2 more. 2 more.
I
You don't have Texas represented well enough.
have Texas Tech.
You don't have Texas represented well enough.
TCU.
Yep.
I need one more. Gosh, come on.
You don't have Texas represented well enough.
Still?
But
Texas is not one.
You don't have
So
Texas
much more to come, guys.
represented
University
well
of
enough.
Houston.
Yes.
Really?
And RG3. Baylor.
Baylor.
There you
Baylor. I knew Baylor.
There's also UCF and BYU and Cincinnati and a bunch of other nonsense teams.
Wouldn't have gotten any of
West
those.
Virginia, can I introduce you in that? So
No.
much more to come. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, there you go, kids. That's your program.
What a program.
Everything you'd want.
Maybe we
Cowboys
should tune
in
in
the
tomorrow
opener.
to your other form of work. There could be big things.
Could
tomorrow.
be. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forget sometimes.
Just saying.
My wife texts me a bunch of stuff, and I'm just like, about something like in early June. I'm like, let me just get through tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's just see if I can get through that.
See if we can do it.
That's all we're trying to do, kids. All right, next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.